Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. What a pleasure it is to have you there. So, I would like to introduce you to today's guest who has spent more than 30 years inspiring others to grow, adapt, and thrive. Whether she's coaching kids, mentoring student athletes, guiding wellness clients, or empowering entrepreneurs, Renee Welk took her wealth of experience and poured it into her book, Ease the Chaos, a collection of real life stories about finding peace in life's messiest moments. She's a master at helping us look at challenges from a fresh angle and cover truths about ourselves and even embrace the parts of us we don't always like. Renee has a knack for turning big abstract dreams into personal, doable goals. And she'll make sure you know you're not alone on this journey. When she's not working her magic, you'll probably find her running, shooting hoops, crafting, enjoying nature, or spending time with family and friends. She's also passionate about gut health and making education and healthcare accessible to all. Get ready for an uplifting conversation that blends wisdom, warmth, and maybe even a little chaos, Jamie. Welcome, Renee.
Thanks, so I should have had you write my bio for my book. I'm like, wow, Vicki, thank you.
Okay, sweetheart, that means the next book I get to do just that.
I am all for
Yes,
it. Let's
there
go
you
for
go.
it.
But I'll also want to edit it. Did you know I have an editing company?
I did. Well, you told me that at Sister
Yeah,
Soul Fest where
yeah.
we met, and I before that I did not. But that's
Okay, so
exciting.
let's make sure that that sequel comes out.
Love it.
Yes. Okay, so what's your earliest childhood memory?
You know what? I had to think about that one. She did give me these questions ahead of time, and I didn't write a ton down because I don't want it to seem like canned. But I don't remember a lot from my childhood, but I remember my grandma's farmhouse from when I was super, super little. And do you know why I think I remember it? And is because my mom would sing me this song called Little Boy Kneels at the Foot of His Bed. I don't know if you know that song.
Oh, precious, I don't.
And I would picture this house every time she sang the song and she told the story. Well, later in life, maybe like in my 20s, I asked her, I'm like, every time I sing that song, it was probably in my 30s when I had kids. To my kids, I picture this house and like, here's what the porch looks like, and here's how you walk into this kitchen area. And then it seemed like there was like a step up and a bathroom. And she said, yep,
Oh,
that's the farmhouse. So I think that when I was a tiny kid, I would picture that, but I had no idea that that was even the farmhouse later on until I asked.
wow. That is so cool.
Power
So
of a
tell
song.
me, what's that, honey?
Power of a song. Smells
Yes,
good,
the
that
power of a
song.
song.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so what's one of your biggest pet peeves?
Since I do work with people, it really is the woe is me. Like I
Yes.
can handle almost anything, but if people think woe is me and that's how they're approaching the day, like I just want to shake them and try a different mindset because
Right?
I just can't go there. Yep.
Yeah.
Nope, we're not. It's not a feel sorry for me. That's not going to get us anywhere. Life is deals everyone difficult cards. This is not just you. Like
Right.
let's figure this out. Let's figure out why you're slipping there.
Agreed. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's another one of my pet peeves too. Yeah. So what's your favorite way to spend a day completely unplugged?
I love nature, so hiking, 100%. Hiking, swimming, yeah, paddleboarding, but hiking, you can do it for such a long time that you can spend a whole day
Yes.
stopping and starting, and you just see so many different things on the way. So I
Oh,
actually joined there's a meetup group, if you ever use that app,
yeah,
for
I
hiking
want to
in
do it.
Iowa. Yeah, so I joined that group and now go with them almost monthly, yeah.
Oh my gosh, cool. It's just called Meetup. And you,
Yeah, Meetup is the app, and then if you just look up your likes and interests, it will match you with groups who are doing those things.
okay, and it's just the state of Iowa.
I think they have it in any state, but the one I'm in is in Iowa. Like, it matched me to an Iowa hiking group, so
Ooh, I love it.
yeah.
Okay, so this fall, what's on your personal or professional calendar that excites you most?
Yes. Well, I'm trying to schedule a hike to Les Hills, I think is what it's called, over by, like, Council Bluffs, Omaha. I think that's it, and then I have to kind of skip because we just sent our daughter to college. Our first daughter, first year in college, and so I actually have, like, December 19th on the calendar for when she's coming home to us. She's loving it, living her best life, but it'll be nice to be under one
You,
roof again. So that kind of skips fall, but it's pretty big.
it's huge, honey. And I thought you were not old enough to have a child in college. I thought you were like 30.
I appreciate that. I'm 48 and almost a half. So,
Oh my gosh.
yep.
Wow. You look so young and your energy is amazing. So tell me, if you could instantly master a brand new skill, what would it be and why?
So in my former life, I was a high school Spanish teacher. So
Oh,
I love that I can speak 2 languages because it opens up the
yes.
door to meeting so many other people, understanding their culture. So I think I would wanna learn a 3rd language if I could just do it like that and not actually put in the
Yes.
work it takes,
Right?
because it would open the door. So I was trying to think, I'm like, what would, like Mandarin? So Chinese is much harder to learn than Spanish for an English speaker,
Of
and different
course.
characters, so many sounds, but it's one of the top, like, 3 languages. Arabic is too, so I'd probably wanna do that because then you could go and reach more people, and when you actually speak the language, I feel like you learn a lot more about the
Right.
location in the space than
Yes.
going in as a visitor with a translator.
Mhm.
Because when I speak in Spanish, I'm not a different person, but I am a different kind of version of me because you're limited in your language a little bit. And when you travel and I speak Spanish, I feel different there than if I'm speaking English while they're speaking Spanish. So I do think there's something to learning the language so that you can, like, be in the group.
Got you. Absolutely.
So
So
what
what
would your I wanna
inspired
know
you
what
to
yours would be. What would you wanna do?
Oh,
Like, you have all the energy in the world. I loved your hat when we met, but I'm
oh,
like,
that's
what would
cute.
you wanna do?
Oh my gosh, what would I think it would be to, be able to travel the world over and write for a month at each and every one of my stops, because I
Mm,
love to write and I wanna develop that skill, but I just don't have time. So
yeah,
that, that would be it.
love it. What would your first stop be?
Paris, France.
Okay, that's
Yes.
exciting. I don't speak French, so I'm no help there.
Yeah, my daughter does, so I might bring her along with me. Okay, so what inspired you to write Ease the Chaos?
I took a class at Drake. So if anyone's an entrepreneur out there, they have an entrepreneur class. And because I want to start a nonprofit that helps people with buying homes who can't buy it in the traditional way.
Got you.
And there are some reasons why people have obstacles that hold them back from things. And what I found was a lot of them are perceived, and people give up too soon because they really don't think that they're enough. Like, they see other people do it, but they think I could never do that.
Right.
That's like I don't have, and just giving up too soon and not believing in themselves. And so I'm like, I don't have to wait to have a nonprofit
Yeah.
to help with these lessons. Like, this is just what I do. And these are I've coached people in cross country. I've helped people learn languages, and then I went on and I have my own business. So I teach people how to be entrepreneurs, and I also teach people how to improve nutrition and gut health. But a lot of those habits, like changing habits, is challenging, whether it's keeping your finances down or keeping you from building better relationships. And that woe is me type thing is like the other side of the coin. It's like, how do I flip that and make this work for my life and use my own skills, even though maybe I want to be good at this? Like, maybe I can use what I'm actually good at to still get to the same place. And yeah.
I Love that. So you talk about loving ourselves completely, even the parts of ourselves we don't always like. Can you please tell us what that looks like for you personally?
Yeah. First, yeah, I'll do my own example, then kind of explain too. But on a light note, I am not a good singer.
Me neither.
And, when you're not good at something, then you start to feel less than, you start to feel insecure. If everyone sings, I don't remember the words. I hear my kids play the same song 100 times and I will know 4 words. My husband knows the words like that. And I don't like, so then you start to feel left out. You start to feel less than, you start to feel like, oh, they'd rather hang out with him and go. Like when we aren't good at something, we spiral negatively. And that was something growing up where just not being able to sing while everyone else is having fun singing. So it's like you have to love yourself anyway, or else you start acting weird, or else you leave friendships or you leave situations instead of just being like, I'm the one here not singing, and that's okay too. I'm
Yes.
gonna dance, or
Yeah.
whatever it, maybe I'm the driver or I bring the
Yeah.
snacks. Like, we forget that we don't have to be good at what everyone else is good at. And once we can actually still like ours or love the parts we don't like, then we're our whole being, and we bring ourselves to the table in a way that's different, where we aren't subtracting from the relationships and the experience due to our own fears, anxieties, insecurities.
Yes.
So that's just a tiny one, but you can see like it does still make me feel that. And then if you compound that with like harder issues, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a workaholic. I like to work. And so then I'm not with my kids. That's just a whole guilt, shame
Yeah.
comparison. And it's like, okay, but what does that show my kids? Or where do I, fit family in? And some people, it's the other way around. It's like, I feel like I should be contributing, but I'm at home. And so everybody has those things that you have to figure out and navigate, and just love even the parts you don't like, or even the stages of life that aren't quite where you want them to be.
Right. Agreed. Beautiful. Profoundly stated. Thank you. So, what's a common misconception people have about chaos and peace?
I think probably the biggest one is they can't coexist. And I feel like they almost have to coexist. Like, when I have a friend who's just had a lot lately, and like she sent a message and she's like, I just need a win. I just need a win because, and it's everywhere. Like, no one is living the life you see on social media where everything's perfect. And if they are, they've probably gone through everything we're going through, and they have someone who cleans their house, and they have someone who talks to their on-air guests and like sets
Mhm.
them up in emails. And I mean, that's really the only way your life is going to be perfect, because we have limited amount of time and we can't do everything in our house and everything for our
No.
friends and family and us and our jobs. And
Yeah.
so I think it's like, how do we find peace even when it's hard? Because every day we hear hard news, every month or quarter or year, hard things happen. So it's like, how do
Yes.
we keep going
Right.
and not move on, but just moving forward with that?
Right. Wow. Okay. So, you've coached and mentored for 3 decades. What's the most surprising lesson you've learned from coaching?
That's a really good question. That was my hardest one to answer. I think that I'm going to go with, we are trying to measure ourselves, but we never set the standard to which we are measuring ourselves. So a lot of times people who I coach in business, just for example, they're like, I'm not so posting enough on social media. I'm not doing that presence. Or people in real life are like, I'm not spending enough quality time with my kids. And I'm like, well, what does that even look like? Like, what are you measuring yourself to? Because if we just keep going, we never will measure up, because we don't even know where the measuring stick is.
Right.
So yeah, I'm so we have to get crystal clear on what we actually want and crystal clear on what that looks like,
Mhm.
because then we can actually put things into place to make sure we have X number of hours a week, or that when we're with our kids, we're not cleaning or we're not doing work, or, for an entrepreneur, 5 social media posts, then, if you did 5, you have an A and you can move
Mhm.
on in your brain. And you're
Yes.
not worried about it. But so often we don't really know what we want. And when we do, we don't put a measuring stick to it. So we just don't feel like we're enough or we're not doing enough. And we're on that hamster wheel of those feelings, which is not empowering. It is not helping us come to the table as our most happy, joyful
Yes.
self. So,
Right. So, how do you personally ease the chaos when life throws you a curveball?
it does not look perfect. I am almost 50, so the personal growth I've had really has been instrumental. So I would say, first of all, we have to set ourselves up with some skills. And even when we have the skills and I talk about those skills, it doesn't mean that that's human nature. So first, I have the feelings, and then I feel bad that I had the feelings that I didn't want to feel. Maybe I'm like disappointed or frustrated or mad at someone for what they said. Like, you still go through it. I'm not a non-human. Like, that's just how
Yes.
our brains work. So then it's like, that's not how I want to react to that person. Even if someone's just mean to me, which doesn't happen a lot, but if someone is mean to us, our
Mhm.
first reaction is to react. And
Right.
it's like, why are you even doing that? What in
Yeah.
the world? Come
Right.
on. Like, and then we are in this defensive attack mode where it's really like, if we know there's no reason for someone to be mean to us, can we pause? We can be upset, we can be hurt, but just say, "Hey, are you okay? Like, are you having it?" And we flip the whole dynamic of the relationship. So sometimes we have to flip it and apologize for how we reacted.
Yeah.
I have to do that, and think like, why did I feel that way? Why was I upset? Why did that? Was I embarrassed? Did I feel less than because I didn't do the thing that they were upset about? And then it's more like, okay, now where do I go from there? So in my book, I have a story I'll say really fast. My daughter came in to ask if I could take her and her friends to the mall, but I had a Zoom set up, I had work to do. And I was like, no, like, no, I can't. And I wasn't unnice, but I also wasn't welcoming.
Yeah.
My kids should always be able to ask me a question. But then I started to figure out I'm an Enneagram 2. So I want to do for others. I want to help others. And I also want to be loved, And so because I couldn't fulfill her needs, I felt less than and insecure about that and upset that I couldn't just go to the mall.
Oh,
And so that's what she felt in my response. Instead, now I'm like, girl, I would absolutely. So I had to reflect, apologize, figure it out, and tell her, I want you to be able to ask me any question. I want you to come to me with those questions. Like, and so now if I know if I feel that feeling, instead of mirroring it to them, I just say something like, there's nothing I'd rather do, but I can't. Could we do it
yeah.
on Friday?
There you go.
It's really, I'm not perfect either. Nobody's perfect. So it's either you react and apologize and fix it, or you've learned how your feelings are enough that you no longer have to react in that situation. You will in other ones, but now you have a better plan.
Oh, I love that. That's profoundly stated. So, what role does gut health play in overall well being in your view?
She threw it in. This passion is gut health. My
Yeah.
daughter had thrown up since the age of 18, and it ended up in migraines, intestinal migraines. And in fourth grade, she was in bed for 4 months. We
Oh
didn't
my
know if
God.
she'd ever be able to ride a roller
Oh,
coaster or go to prom. And
oh,
so I have a lot of empathy for people whose
yes.
kids are unwell.
Yes.
And that led us to gut health, and that helped figure out what the causes were. So I think gut health plays a huge role. It actually statistically proven controls 60 to 80% of our immunity. Your immune system
Oh,
lives on the other side of your GI tract because that's where most things enter our body. So if it's not doing its job, even if we're not stressed because something's stressful outside of us, we will have stress in our bodies that can give us headaches, can give us joint pain, etc. And it also controls 60 to 90% of our hormones.
oh
So
my.
that's depression, anxiety, PCOS, endometriosis, thyroid disorders. So I think it's a huge role in health, happiness, lowering stress, fighting illness, all of those things. So go take care of your gut.
Yes, take care of your gut.
Yeah, that's
So
my day job. So you can tell I love talking about that too.
I love that. So if you had to sum up your personal mission statement in just one sentence, what would it be?
To educate and empower others to live their best life,
There you go. I love that.
which
Very
I
other
think you
centered.
do. I think
What?
you do that. You
Oh,
highlight, you help people, you're bringing information to help people improve their lives, have a better day. I love that about you. When I met you, you do that just by your presence. So I
oh,
appreciate
Renee,
you.
thank you, honey. You just made my day. Aw. So, who have been the greatest influences in your life?
My parents first, and then the people who invited me in. I will say it over and over. I had a high school teacher who said, "You need to be an FFA." And I remember standing in the cafeteria like, I don't have animals. I don't live on a farm. But she knew a lot about something that I didn't know much about. And she knew enough about me to know that I'm a leader. And she gave me the gift of a platform to become better at what she knew I could do before I even knew about it. So, like, when we invite people in and invite people to take a look at things because we see something in them, I just tell people, just say yes for now. Go
Yes.
try it out. They wouldn't ask you if they thought you were going to fail or not be good at it.
Right.
But so often we turn down those invitations because we're like, I don't have time. It's not my skill set. Well, we only know a tiny bit about that thing and they know a lot. So things like that have happened a lot in my life where people have invited me to take a look, and it has been amazing experiences that have helped shape me, give me experience, all the things. So say yes and invite people in if you see that they'd be
Yes.
good.
Yes. And let's talk about mom and dad. How did they influence you as well?
Yeah. So my mom is the most kind, stable, take care. She's always there. She will drop whatever for her kids or grandkids. Like I could cry. And
Yeah.
when you have that, then that empowers you. She never said no. She's like, "You're going where?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go live in Mexico." She didn't want me to go live in Mexico, but she never said, "Don't do that." She always supported every dream. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good mama. Yes. So, what's a book, podcast, or piece of advice that stuck with you over the years, Renee?
Um, a person that I worked for in a flower shop is a huge entrepreneur. So he's in a greenhouse, and when we started our businesses, my husband and I, he said, just don't quit on a bad day and don't take advice from anyone who isn't already successful or where you want to go. If they tried and they weren't successful, don't listen. If they're only clients, don't listen. And so that never quit on a bad day really makes a big difference.
Wow. If we could all be so disciplined to not quit on a bad day, that's beautiful.
Even take a
Yes.
pause on a bad day.
Yeah, there you go. Take
Yeah,
a pause.
don't quit. If you can't quit on the good day,
Uh-huh.
then it's probably not something you need to quit. It's just something you gotta work through,
Yeah,
so.
there you go. So, if people remember you for one thing, what do you hope it is?
Um, Kindness. I always say on my tombstone, it's just gonna say nice because I truly love people, even if I disagree with where they're at, what they're whatever. We can disagree, I can still love you as a human and empower you to have a better day, take care of yourself better. I just want people to be better knowing me.
Yes, and I am so much better knowing you, sweetheart.
Same thing, Vicki.
Oh, thank you, Renee. So, where can people find you on the web and social media?
Yeah, so the book's on Amazon. I always felt like I was selling my soul selling through Amazon, but over 80% of all books are sold there, even if they're in bookstores. So Amazon, Ease the Chaos, Renee Welk, and then Instagram, you can find Ease the Chaos as well. So
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
and easethechaos.com is my website. You can sign up for a newsletter, and I
Ooh,
send, happy grams, wisdom, these podcasts I'll send out if we have one.
sweet. I
Yeah.
love that. Any closing thoughts?
No, I just appreciate you doing this. And I know that when we met, it was just so fun to see you going around to all of the entrepreneurs, chatting with them, empowering them, inspiring them.
Oh, now I'm gonna cry. Thank you. That's really sweet. I enjoyed meeting you that day. I'm like, I gotta get this girl on my show. She's got the best personality, just shines when you smile, and this
Wow.
vibe that's like way up here. So
Thanks.
thank you, sweetheart.
Absolutely. So glad to be on. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you so much, sweetheart.
Yes.
Have a
Actually, can
wonderful
I say one thing? I'm like,
yes,
what if when I leave like a coaching session
yeah,
in these podcasts, like if people are listening to you regularly, I always just ask people like, what is one takeaway? Like I'd love to hear. And then it makes us be clear of like, okay, I'm not going to put on a bad day. Even if I go on the rest of my day, like, and then what's one thing we can implement in the next week? Because we get so much information and we want to do things with it, but then
right.
we don't take the time for that part. So that's like my two questions for people listening to like for any time they listen to your podcast too.
Yes. What's my one takeaway? Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, my takeaway is I'm better knowing you. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank
Yes.
you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And perhaps we can get Renee to come back. What do you think?
Talk about gut
Yeah,
health. No, I'm
there
kidding.
you go. Good help. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Have a
It's been
good
wonderful.
day.
Yep. Have a great day. Here we go.